Sorry about the video earlier. I just discarded it so that I can come back on. Had some difficulties there for just a minute. It's time to move. Okay, that is the subject title this morning. But I did want to remind you all once again to go out and subscribe to Faith Talks with Treese. It's a new YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel, she is a strong woman of God. She does a lot of work online in working with women and men, as well as she does a lot of work offline, working with women and men through her work as she has been assigned, by God. So she's going to have sit downs, guests on her podcast. So please, 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 whatever you do, please go out, subscribe, and follow Treese on her new platform that will be launching on May 9th. Faith Talks with Treese on May 9th. So go out, subscribe to her channel on YouTube, follow and support her. Okay? All of my lives, anything that I do pre-records on TikTok are always transferred over to my YouTube channel, Electric James Inspirational Talks. My Instagram, electra.james18. My Facebook, which is just simply Electra James. So anything that you see on here will be transferred over to my other platforms. And Treese does the same thing with anything that you're going to see on her YouTube channel, and she'll share the links starting May 9th of where you can find her other information outside of YouTube. Okay? So again, let me get started because I know everybody's up and moving and trying to get out and about to your jobs this morning. I want to talk about it's time to move. There comes a time in all of our lives when it is time to move. It's time to switch your zip codes. Sometimes the only way you're going to grow is that you have to get from amongst your kin. You got to get from around the familiar. Okay? And sometimes the reason why many of us have stayed stagnated in life is because we've never done anything different outside of what we're familiar with. And I do know this is a fact down in Texas that there is a part in Texas where people, a county in Texas where people have never left. They've never left Galveston Island. They've never left there. And we had a storm and years ago, and some people, didn't make it out because they chose to stay. They did not want to leave the island. And so the end result was that it just didn't work out well. I'll put it like that. When you get so familiar with something that you can't move, that's not healthy. And it's not me just saying it. The word in Genesis, that 12th chapter, verses 1 through 3, you can read it on your own, where it tells us over in Genesis to get from among our kindred, leave our father's house. See, because what God has let us know, he got so much other stuff out there for us. But how can we get opportunities if we never get up and move? And for some of us, it's just time to move. It's time to get from around what you are familiar with. Because you know what? If you stay there, you're going to get drained. Some people that make it in life, say like a huge success, become celebrities or whatever. The reason why they have to move and they have to change their zip codes, because where you at is familiar with you, and if you go back there, they gonna drain you out of everything you working for. Because sometimes, let's be honest, people think that you owe them just because you got out there, you did the work, you walked through those doors of opportunities, and they paid off for you. They feel that you owe them, and it don't have to be on the celebrity status. Everyday people who work hard to build in life, and finally they get that breakthrough. But you can't return back to familiar, because they gonna drain you. You get from, everybody gonna need something. And then when you become the go-to person, and when you become the go-to person, every time some situation comes up, they gonna be in your pockets, in your life, everything, because they feel that you owe them that. And that's not true. That's not true. It's okay to help family. It's okay to help friends, but it's not okay when they are taking advantage of you. And that's not okay. And I didn't say it, the word says it, that you got to get from amongst your kin. Over there in Genesis 12, 1 through 3, I read it, just a tad, section 8. Get thee out of thy country and from amongst thy kindred, out from thy father's house unto a land that will show thee. In other words, into a land that's going to give you opportunities, that's going to open doors for you, that's going to create a new way in life for you. But you got to leave some people behind. Everybody can't go with you on your new journey. Everybody cannot go with you on your new journey. I said it once and I'll say it again. Some people that have been on your boat in life have been poking holes in your boat. Some people that have been on planes with you have been poking holes in the wings on the same plane they own with you. And what I mean, that you are trying to build in life, you trying to take them along with you, and all the while they're doing things to try to destroy you, to try to sink you. Come on now, let's all be honest. We've dealt with people like that we thought that they was on the same team with us. But see, a lot of times, these are not the people that God put in your life. These are the people you either familiar with, you've had a life with them, you grew up with them, and then you find out that's not the same person that I was in middle school with. That's not the same person I was in high school with, or whatever the case may be. That family member not even the same. And that's my kin. That's kinfolk. And kinfolk know you better than anybody because they familiar with you, because you grew up with them. And that's why scripture warns us, if you want to grow, if you want to walk to through new doors of opportunity, I don't care how much you love your siblings. Sometimes you got to get from amongst them. That don't mean you don't love them. That just means I'm trying to grow. I got to move. You can go back and visit. You can pick up a phone call. You can fly them out there where you at and fly them back home. Or what? It's you. In order to grow, you got to change your zip code. You can't stay where you at and grow. You got to explore some things. You got to walk through those doors of opportunity. And the only way you're going to know what's out there is you got to get out there. My nephew who was in the military, my grandson who is in college. I mean, I've got a granddaughter that's coming up. I've got nieces and nephews, and I tell them all the same thing. You got to build streets in your life. You got to, because streets going to turn into avenues, and avenues going to put you on planes. Because when you get on an avenue, eventually you're going to get on a highway. And the highway, every highway you're going to get on Interstate 35, Interstate 30. You know, everything changes. Interstate 45. When you are traveling, interstates change. Because now you on highways. So you went from streets to avenues to highways. And those highways, you're going to start getting on planes. You're going to stop getting on planes, get on trains. You're going to get on boats. Any way, means of travel. The fact of the matter is you can't get nowhere if you keep standing in the same spot to what you're familiar with. And that's a fact. And anybody that has grown in life will tell you, I had to make some decisions I didn't want to make, but I had to make them because I couldn't get better. Because when you return to it, you know how to return, spend a little time and go back to your new zip code, your new address. And when you say that, it can sound like, oh, that's so iffy, that's so icky. Why would you say that? I say it because the word said it. And the word wouldn't say it if it wasn't for our good. Again, go to Genesis 12, 1 and 3. Get from amongst your kin. What are you afraid of? That you can't move. What are you afraid of? That you have to stay around what you're familiar with. What are you afraid of? Because if you go out there and try, at least you can say that you went out there and tried. Some people become their best person when they get from amongst their kindred. When they get from amongst the familiar. And then those who go and then for whatever reason they return and they decide, I'm going to just stay here, watch them decline. Because now you got all this weight on you. All of it. Everybody's problems, situations, what have you. It's on you. Because you back around the familiar. Instead of finding you a new zip code. I don't care if it's 2 hours away or an hour away, whatever. As long as you're not right up on your kindred. I say this all the time. Life is about growth. And if you can't grow, because you're on cement, you can't water cement. You can't put dirt underneath the plant. You can't plant no seeds on cement. You got to be where you can grow. God got a whole backyard out there. I know he didn't mean for us to stay in one spot. When he got a whole backyard out there, running from state to state, country to country. I mean, come on. For some of you, you've been in one spot too long. You've been there 30 years and nothing has changed. Everybody's still the same. Everybody dump all their problems on you, all their concerns on you, because you're in a familiar place. And you're refusing to move out of that space. You don't want to change that zip code. Young people, and I will always say this, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? If you never try, you'll never fail. And if you fail, you can always get back up. But if you don't try, you don't know. Because I've learned in life, if I fall 8 times, I'm going to get up 9 times. You got to keep getting up. Even in our prayers. If you feel like you went down on your knees and you prayed and nothing happened, go back down. You go back down, you pray again, and nothing happens. Go back down. The moral to the story is keep going down. God see you. You're waiting for his answer. Not man's answer. God's answer. You just keep going back down. And eventually you're going to get that breakthrough. You're going to hear from God. Don't allow yourself to stay in one spot. It's time to move. It's time to move. If you're not growing, if you're not doing anything different, if you're not seeing opportunities open up for you, it's time to move. And most of us, like myself, yeah, I'm settled now. I got my own home. I got my career. I got this, blah, blah, you know. But I've grown in life, just like many of you. But there is so much more out there. I've traveled. I've pretty much done it all. I've had a good life. But what I'm saying is to young people, my grandkids, my nieces and nephews, young people I deal with in higher education, sometimes you got to change your zip code. You got to change your zip code. Because you're young enough to do that. Change your zip code. Branch out. You don't know how many doors are out there ready to open up for you. But you won't never know if you just sit down and hang out with the familiar. Because at the end of the day, kin will wear you down. Kin will wear you out. Kin will block you. Kin will sometimes help other people take from you. Manipulate you. The kins and the friends. Just whoever you connect with. Whoever you're connecting with and you're not growing, you just going backwards, it's time to move. It is time to move. And if you don't see no growth in yourself, it's time to move. Get from around your kindred. Get out of your father's house so that God can show you some things, expose you to some things, open up doors of opportunity for you. That's a fact. That is a fact. You can always go back and come back and visit. But guess what? You got to get out that boat where your enemies are, from amongst them. You got to get off them planes because you got some enemies on that plane with you. You got to get from amongst them. Okay? They poking holes in your boat, trying to drown you. And you laughing with them, and they laughing with you. And they have no good intentions for your life. You paying for the plane tickets, and they poking holes in the wings of the plane that you paid for. You want to remain in that setting with those kins and those friends? They frenemies. And your kins can become enemies, especially if they're jealous of you and you don't know. Because the worst jealousy is hidden jealousy. That's the worst jealousy you can have, because they come across as close kin and close friend. But at the end of the day, they only there to destroy and take from you. All right? Don't be afraid to move. If it's time to move, it's time to move. And don't take it from me. Go over there and read it in Genesis, that 12th chapter, verse 1 and through 3. All right? Y'all have a wonderful day. There's many blessings out there for you. There's many opportunities out there for you. Move forward. Don't be afraid. Keep going and grow. If you fall 8 times, get up 9. All right? If you feel like God didn't answer that prayer the first time, get back up. If you feel like he didn't order it the second time, get back up. If you feel like he didn't hear from him the third time, hey, go back down on them knees. Keep going down until you hear from God, till you get that breakthrough. All right? Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.